Hi, Coach Frank here again with another video for Anatomy CrossFit. This week, we continue where we left off with the last video. Let's talk about squats, their faults, and how to fix them. So come and join us.
Production.
Last video, we showed you how to properly perform an air squat. The air squat is most probably the most important movement in functional fitness. It allows us to properly assess one's strength, weaknesses, mobility, and flexibility. Getting better at the air squat will help you in other movements as well as prevent injuries. Here are the most common faults for bad squats. Not going down below parallel or not finishing the movement. Rolling your knees in. Dropping the head or shoulders. Losing your lumbar extension. Heels coming off the ground. Sloppy work or just poor focus. Squatting may seem easy, and in fact it should be, but not everyone does it right, believe me. Learning to squat properly isn't just for CrossFit either. It can save you pain in your joints and back, along with building some muscle and saving you from medical bills. So let's start by addressing them by importance. Sloppy work and poor focus. As mentioned, squatting ain't easy, especially when adding them to your fitness regime or adding load. But this fault applies to fitness in general. When attempting to get fit in any environment, it is important to stay focused on what you're doing. Poor focus will lead to lack of engagement and cause a chain reaction of bad form. Exercise is a great way to deal with stress as it increases your endorphins. So keep the drama outside and get to sweating. For air squats, the next most important fault to fix would be rolling the knees in. Caving your knees in will also cause a chain reaction to happen, like caving your feet, not squatting below parallel, squatting with the quads, or rounding your back. This could be caused by weak adductors, but can also be poor knowledge. Turn your toes slightly out and push your feet to the outside of your shoes, screwing your big toe down. Attempt to stretch the floor apart. Push your knees out on the descent to allow your hips to pass through. On the squat up, keep pushing your knees out as you rise. Sometimes it can help imagining pushing two walls with your knees. A good strengthening exercise for this is the banded air squats. Losing your lumbar curve is the trickiest fault as it could be caused by many different factors. Poor engagement, squatting too low, tight or weak hamstrings or glutes, or not breathing properly. This is also the fault that could bring upon the most severe injuries, especially if done with load. The first step is to address breathing and squatting the right depth. Breathing into the belly before squatting helps us brace our core and engage our posterior chain. Releasing that air before the rise can deactivate your core, resulting in the lumbar flexion. Make sure to lock in that breath before starting the squat and release during the rise or at the top. As for the depth, there is such a thing as squatting too low, especially if we have poor mobility. We call this the butt wink. This is usually caused by poor engagement or squatting too low. If this is your problem, try squatting on a box or medicine ball. As long as you squat below parallel while keeping your lumbar curve, you are making progress. Oh, and this goes for not squatting below parallel too. Squatting below parallel is the proper way to engage the proper muscle groups, resulting in better strength gains. Although everyone's comfortable squat depth is different, just below parallel should be what we strive for increased mobility and strength. Tightness in some areas and weak spots can affect your squat and your lumbar curve and can also cause other faults like dropping your head or shoulders. Tight hamstrings can pull your hips under and weak hamstrings and glutes can cause your chest and shoulders to fall forward to cheat for balance. Bar holds are great therapy for this, as it helps you keep your shoulders back, your chest up, and get you in the perfect bottom position. Now this may prove difficult at first, but keep at it and keep practicing. I promise you'll reap the benefits. Proper hip and hamstring warm-up and stretching is also important to gain mobility in the squat's range of motion. Make sure to add this to your routine. Last but not least, especially for when it comes time to add load, your heels should stay on the ground. Causes for your heels coming off the ground are poor ankle mobility and compensating for weak hamstrings and glutes by overuse of the quads for balance. Again, a proper stretching and warm-up routine can help with ankle mobility, while bar hold squats will help with form. Focusing on keeping the pressure on the midfoot and heel should totally fix this fault. So there you have it, the top 7 most common squatting faults and how to fix them. Well, I hope this helped you find any problems you have in your squat, and hopefully you're on your way to becoming a squat master. Stay tuned next as we look into squat warm-ups and stretches. If you like this video, make sure to give us a thumbs up and share.
이 영상이 마음에 드셨으면 좋아요와 공유하기를 눌러주세요.
And don't forget to subscribe.
구독하기도 잊지 마시고요.